Welcome to today's summercast. It is so cold outside that it doesn't even matter what the temperature is. Once it gets below 10, it really doesn't matter. 5, 0, -3, -10, -12. Let's not talk about that right now. We're not complainers, we're winners. And I want to call your attention today, in today's summercast, to Mark's Gospel, chapter 10. I want to talk to you briefly about, I always say briefly, but you know how it is. I want to talk to you about a faith that cannot be denied in Mark 10, verse 46, dealing with blind Bartimaeus. And they came to Jericho, and as he was leaving Jericho with his disciples and a great crowd, Bartimaeus, a blind beggar, the son of Timaeus, was sitting by the roadside. And when he heard that it was Jesus, faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. Jesus was the Logos, the living word. He is the living word. When Bartimaeus heard that it was Jesus, he began to cry out and say, he got loud, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me." And many were excited for him. No, what did they do? They rebuked him, telling him to be silent or shut up. And when he heard that it was Jesus, he cried out. They told him to shut up. But when they told him to be silent, the next sentence says, but he cried out all the more. He just got louder. "Son of David, have mercy on me." And Jesus stopped and said, "Call him." And they called the blind man, saying to him, "All right, come on, guy. Get on up. He's calling for you." And throwing off his cloak, he sprang up and came to Jesus. And Jesus said to him, "What do you want me to do for you?" And the blind man said, "Rabbi, let me recover my sight." And Jesus said to him, "Go your way. Your faith has made you well." And immediately he recovered and followed him on the way. Let's look at this. This guy impresses me. Bartimaeus had an unshakable and unstoppable faith that refused to take no for an answer. He had action to his faith. He just didn't have the talk, but he had to walk. Now, when he heard Jesus was coming, he cried out, "Son of David, have mercy on me." Wow. And guess what? It got Jesus' attention. But first, when he cried out, they told him to shut up. And this, let's see what are the takeaways from this. Okay? What did he do? What can we learn from this by what Bartimaeus did? What can we learn about faith? All right. First of all, look at what he did when they told him to shut up. Did he shut up? Nope. He just got louder. All right. The more that they try to get him to stop, the louder he got. So, what do we do? What do you do when people try to get you to shut up? To shut your testimony up, to stop you from pursuing faith or sticking with it, to stop you from moving forward and try to discourage you from achieving all that God has for you. What do? Just get louder. Next thing he did, he threw off his garment. All right. Now, why did he do that? Well, in those days when you were blind, you had to keep your garment on. There was a garment that showed society that you were blind. There was a certain garment that you had to wear. All right. So when he didn't get a chance to talk to Jesus yet, but as soon as Jesus called for him, he threw his garment off. And that demonstrated that there was no turning back for him. You don't take your garment off when you're blind. You take it off when you're not blind. All right. Why didn't he wait until Jesus told him what he was going to do? He had faith that Jesus was going to heal him, so he threw it off. All right? So all that man was waiting for Jesus to do was to call for him and give him a signal. And all he needed was an audience with Jesus. If Jesus would just give him a chance to present himself, a chance to plead his case before him, he knew all would be well. So Jesus called for him. And as far as Bart was concerned, Jesus calling for him was equivalent to him being healed. And when he got to Jesus, Jesus asked him what seems to be a ridiculous question. What do you want me to do for you? I mean, here, check this out. Here's Bartimaeus coming to Jesus, blind as a bat. Jesus is in the healing business. He's in the healing ministry. He knew what he wanted, but he wanted to hear it from him because faith is released by words through your mouth. Jesus asked him the question, what do you want me to do for you, to elicit from this man a response of faith? Okay. And what can I do for you? He said, basically, I want to see. And he got healed. All right. Now, he got results. No matter what you're dealing with, no matter what you're facing in life, no matter what challenge you're facing, nothing can stop an unshakable faith. You will get results too in your life. You will get the desires of your heart. You'll get what you need or what you want from God when you have an unshakable faith that it will happen. All you have to do is get Jesus to call for you, and he already did. In Mark 11:24, Mark 11:23 said, whoever, that means anybody, whoever will say to this mountain, be removed and be cast into the sea, and does not doubt in his heart, but believes that what he says will be done, he'll have whatever he says, whatever you desire. Whatever whosoever desires. When you pray, believe you receive, and you shall have. That's just like Jesus saying, come. He said, if you have faith as a seed, that's just like Jesus calling for you. If you have faith as a seed, you'll say. Okay? So, when people try to stop you, try to stop your testimony, try to stop your faith, try to stop you from speaking those things that you believe will happen, just get loud and declare it all the more. Because when you have that kind of faith, nothing can stop you. All right? So have the kind of faith that cannot be denied. Make it an Ephesians 3:20 day.